You definitely don't want to miss this hair-raising story. Louis deduced from the stitching technique on the body. He inferred that the other party might be a forensic surgeon with some dissection skills, and the key point is that this person knew a thing or two about Louis. The case took a new turn, and the nun hurriedly organized the documents before contacting a professional pastor about the latest case details. Who was dancing inappropriately. She suddenly took interest in the nun, personally delivering documents for discussion. The nun nervously entered, avoiding his eccentric scarf. Seeing a face marred by maggots and fungus, the nun was momentarily stunned. Unknowingly, she was drawn to the pastor. Just then, she was interrupted. The nun stumbled out, emotions spiraling. Louis rushed to his bedside. To her horror, she found nurses cleaning up her husband, spared a bloody scene that almost made her puke a drink. She realized her husband's health was going down faster than a roller coaster ride, and tried to hint to Louis it might be time to let go. Louis wasn't hearing it. She sank down and hid, sipping on her personal stash of liquor as Eddie strolled by. Eddie, ever the gentleman, lit Louis a cigarette, gesturing to drive off, kindly warning of possible surprises. Louis stubbornly insisted on driving solo and met Eddie again moments later. Louis got into a car accident due to drunk driving and woke up in a hospital bed. Her colleague pulled some strings to save her from jail. They spared her jail, but wouldn't let her go yet, waiting colleagues' departure. Louis begged Eddie for a daring hospital escape, and luckily, he agreed. Following her lead, Eddie pulled the keys from her jacket pocket. After freeing Louis, he led the disguised Louis out of the hospital, glancing back. To her surprise, May cracked open Louis' mysterious box from the crime scene, revealing a cheat note. Curious, she asked her close or cute partner Eddie to babysit her daughter, then hit the road with the nun. Driving all day, Louis and the nun gradually entered a foggy spot resembling a Ming Dynasty scene. The temperature was rising, and when Louis finally got to the coordinates, they stumbled upon a big fire pit. Just then, a man came charging over. As they neared, Louis raised her hand, defensive, while the nun also appeared unyielding. The man claimed to be from the Geological Bureau and alerted them that they were standing on a fault line like that made them feel any safer. This pit was widening every day, totally beyond scientific explanation. The man couldn't help but grip it was like a black hole. Louis evacuated with the nun, but bumped into firefighters extinguishing a burning car on the way back. Trying to find a place to crash, Louis looked for a motel and was told by locals that it wasn't a safe spot to linger. It wasn't the kind of place to settle down, and at the very moment she was leaving. Louis saw Fire Tower, decided to leave, but driving forward, noticed a naked woman. Not caring, the woman ran to Louis' car. He slowed down to let her in. Yelling that she's coming, and giving commands, Louis barely processed it before speeding off. Following the woman's prompts, they arrived at the motel, and the moment they parked, the woman dashed out of the car. Racing toward the public restroom, Louis decided to stay put, hauling her luggage into check-in. But even the heavy makeup couldn't hide the bruises on the motel owner's face. Refused outright, the nun felt uneasy and found blood-stained paper scattered in the restroom. The woman had vanished without a trace. Upon realizing this with her niece, Louis completely lost her patience and decided to first take a breather in this room. The nun dropped her bags. Feeling uneasy, she stepped out, while Louis got a call from her superior. Louis stayed inside to take the call when suddenly she heard a loud crash outside. The nun looked over just in time to see two cars collide. The nun rushed over to comfort a child in one of the cars, but found the motel owner's boyfriend. He was pressing her head down into a purple pool. The nun, horrified, tried to intervene when the boyfriend noticed caught. He stopped the alarm. The niece thought the world was mad, rushing to Louis for help. Telling Louis about the chaos outside, Louis was in a bit of a panic when she found the motel owner. Trying to call for backup, Louis couldn't get through when suddenly she heard gunfire and raced back to the room. She grabbed her trusty sidearm, and as she loaded it, both Louis and the nun heard the owner screaming in panic. Peeking through the door, they saw the motel owner's boyfriend pointing a gun at the bloodthirsty woman while the owner was frantically trying to interfere. Suddenly, a man emerged from a car in a line of fire, ready to take the woman away, sending the nun into a complete panic. In a reckless move, the man was shot, and everything happened too fast for Louis to register what was going on. Later, the precinct sensed something wrong when the gunfire stopped. The two were swiftly rescued. The brothers survived, but Mirisco's precinct colleagues were disappointed in Louis, believing she had been too selfish. The innocent brother was taken to trial, leaving Louis guilt-ridden and realizing the spotlight was shifting to her. Louis learned several foes she had taken down were released, some harboring grudges. Coincidentally, the release dates for these criminals coincided perfectly with the timing of the first murder case. He feared it was all an act of revenge. Soon, the scene of the latest murder was just as gruesome. To top it all off, when Louis arrived, she discovered two pregnant women had been gruesomely cut open, their bellies expanded. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more wild stories like this.